All right, cool. Pasha Paro, YNet7. Thank you for tuning. The replay. And this is actually the replay this time for real. Just had a little glitch. So we're about 10 minutes into it. We're starting over. No big deal. So if you're joining from the previous live, great. And we'll keep going from there. Okay, so let's start from the top so that this one will be the main one. It's fresh when it's all said and done. So those that are new to the channel know what we grade do. This one's titled today, Can Money Buy Love? Absolutely. All right. That's the truth. We're going to get into why that's facts momentarily. Share this with the person you sit down with, the person that you're saying that you quote unquote love. We great. Get into this and then put your comments in the comments below. Let's see how y'all feel about it. Okay. So I know that title's crazy, right? Can money buy love? Drop your comments and what your answer is right now. And then at the end of the video, tell me what you think, or later on in the video, tell me what you think. If something I said helped you get a better perspective on it, or it made sense, changed how you felt, then let's talk about that also. So for those that are new to the channel, we're going to get into the book. We're going to dive into this power versus force on the emotional love, the calibration. We're going to pull some cards out, or well, we're going to go in my notes, get my opinion, break down some stuff for you here based on how I see the leveraging of the law of attraction going on in all this. We're going to pull some cards. We're going to pull a card from my Tarrot Daphnique deck, right? My new favorites. They got the gold foil and everything. Then we're going to get an oracle card with these crystals and see what's what. All right, so we'll see how they all connect to each other. So let's get right into it. All right, and keep it moving here. Got lots to go over. This is such a great topic. I mean, a lot of our community's issues revolve around a lack of understanding, a lack of comprehension of what the word love is all about, what the emotion love really is. So love, energy level 500, right? Love. Let's get the quote up there from the etymology for y'all, so y'all can take a look at that while we read through this. Okay, so love, as depicted in the mass media, is not what this level implies. On the contrary, what the world generally refers to as love is an intense, emotionally combining physical attraction, right? Emotionality, combining physical attraction, possessiveness, control, addiction, eroticism, and novelty. It's usually evanescent and fluctuating, waxing and waning, and varying conditions, and with waxing and waning with varying conditions. When frustrated, this emotion often reveals an underlying anger and dependency that it has masked. See, there a lot of these relationships, are existing because of what's really codependency, and I'm gonna break it down for you momentarily. As it's no different than being addicted to a drug. You're basing everything off people's desires, and that if you go back to that video that we did a little while back here on the channel, you'll see how desires break down into addiction. But yeah, as soon as, like I said, when frustrated, this emotion often reveals the underlying anger and dependency that it has masked. So as soon as someone get mad and they lose control of that part of themselves, they get mad, they find out you gonna find out how they really feel about you. You know what I mean? They're gonna talk all this stuff, right, about you, that or to you and about you at the same time. And it's gonna have you wondering if they some of you might be wondering if that's how they really feel or not. But then when they say, "Oh no, I'm sorry, I didn't," it's not, I was angry, I was upset, and you go, "Oh, okay," and then that's okay, but and now you taking them back and y'all back together, and you feeling like something's gonna be different next week, tomorrow, what have you. I know, I mean, I said it last time too. I'll be here Man, you're playing with fire all the time. All right, so let's go. Let's go. All right, so it's, that love can turn to hate, right? That love can turn to hate is a common concept, but what is being spoken about rather than love is an addictive sentimentality and attachment. Hate stems from pride. Go back to the video we did on pride. You know what I mean, where we broke down the pride emotion. Get familiar with that so that this all makes sense to you. So hate stems from pride, not love. There probably never was actual love in such a relationship. All right, so if we go here, looking at the what I got up here for you, love actually means a different grade. Okay, and it's comes from Proto-Germanic, Lubo. We covered this when we were talking about the etymology and the equations versus variables videos. Check that out so you can see that 5 plus 5 is always going to be 10. So when we look at what the words meant versus what they think they mean today, we can see that they're actually always going to mean the same thing, regardless of how we use them or not. So we're attracting certain energies, whether we're aware of it or not. And that is part of why I actually feel like it's very important that we focus on etymology, because whatever we focus on, we attract. So if love actually means a different grade, right? Put it in perspective for you, a whole nother level, right? If love means a totally different grade, a lot of people actually must accept, then go back to the acceptance, must accept that they've asked for love and that they're actually getting it, but because they thought it was something else, they don't realize that they're actually getting what they asked for. So love is a whole nother level, and or a whole nother grade. And you can say level because when you look at here, grade means step or stage, okay, in a process. So if you try to climb up somewhere, you know what I mean, it's where the whole gold digger theory, all this stuff comes in. All that gets out the window when you understand the reality of the game that's being played. It's all within the rules. So you either got it or you don't, because everybody looking for something, right? So what it is that, how can I show it? I got something over here. All right. So let me get this. Let me get that. Hold on. We're gonna get some improv tooling. All right. So here's a great way I show people what's happening in their relationships. I do counseling and I'll do a lot of stuff in my daily life. You know what I mean? But here we go. So and I appreciate all the donations and the support. The Cash App, YNet7. That's Y, capital letter Y, NET, number 7. And if you want a personal reading on the tarot cards, just grab me at any social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and just inbox me and tell me you want a personal reading, and we can set that up for you. So this is what's going on. All right, let's hold on. Let me give you a better view. This one work. So this is what's going on, right? You got these two different things. Got a little paper towel here, right? And you got a golf ball, okay? So this is, let's say, dudes, this is you. Ladies, this is you, right? This represents your love for each other. You know what I mean? Oh, isn't that cute? You know what I'm saying? So look, here we go. What you got to realize is, what I want you to accept for this experiment is that these loves, although they're from two different people, they are exactly the same level of love. Like exactly. Let's just, for the sake of argument, let's just say it's exactly the same level of love, right? Now you can see how this one, what their differences are, right? This one's soft and crumply, and this one's firm and round. This one, was flat, can be flattened, etc. The whole nine. Just thinking all the differences out in your mind. You got it going on. Okay, so this is my dudes, this is my dogs, this is my females, this is my kings, this is my queens. All right, you with me? So here we go. Give it to each other. Now, this don't feel nothing like this, and this don't feel nothing like this. So now that y'all have given each other the exact same love, but from two different sources, so it's totally different, it feels different. And you're like, well, this ain't the same that I do for you, and I do this and you don't do that, and blah 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 blah. But it's because you guys gotta accept that you love different. It's a totally different grade. You know what I mean? It's the same thing, same level, but a totally different grade. That's what love is. That's what you ask for. So then you get love, and you wonder why this is all soft and squishy. You wonder why this is all hard and cold, and you talking about y'all not compatible, but it's because you don't understand that. So anyway, what love means, going back to that, is a different grade. And what people really want when you talk to them about what they want when they want love, or they're looking for love, is they want somebody not exactly the same, but close enough to them that they can relate, right? Because respect, we covered so much on this channel. Just stay with the channel, you're gonna learn it all. So what respect really means is relate. So you're looking for someone close enough to you on this level, right? Or the ladder you're climbing to where you want to go, that you guys can relate. And that's why you respect them, because the word respect means relate, etc. All right, so when you ask for love, what do we get? A whole nother level, right? So then you start to say, why isn't it working? Why isn't it what it was? All this stuff comes up because you're recognizing now the differences in the level of shit between y'all. Okay, so a different grade versus someone you can relate to. That's what's going on with you guys right now, or that person you know in your family, your neighbor, your friend, your coworker. That's what's going on. Share this video with them. Let them hear, break it down for them, translate it to them, something, and we're gonna get this. We're gonna help each other one by one, right? We're gonna change the world. You may not be able to change the world. One person may not be able to change. You may not be able to change the world by helping one person, but helping one person will change their world. Okay, so take a moment and share it with who you know, you care about. So this in many cases, right, is what many leads to you finding out or feeling like love is not it's not unconditional. So as soon as, like the book was saying, as soon as they don't get what they want, you find out how they really feel about you. Okay, all the names in the book, everything you ever share with them becomes a weapon against you. A whole nother level of conversation now, right? Because now you find out how they really feel about you, because they frustrated, they upset. And like I said, maybe you practice forgiveness. Maybe you on a whole different level and you don't forgive, and you identify that, look, this is what it really is. So you got to go, right? But that's because you're dealing with people's desires. And as mentioned, just familiarize yourself with the video we did on desire, and you'll get that understanding, because desire leads to addiction. You see what I'm saying? And what you gotta understand is that addiction isn't formed from what we're consuming. It isn't formed from what we're intaking, what we're getting, the environment. It's actually formed from what chemicals our brain releases in response to the environmental activities, or into the chemicals and inputs that we're putting into our system. You know what I mean? Our brain, our body chemistry changes, and that's what people are addicted to. So because you're dealing with people's desires, which basically are their addictions, then you're dealing with the addictions of the brain, And it's not what you're doing, but how it makes them feel, basically. Because they're going to release a chemical into it. So that raises the question, are they loving you for you? Are they quote unquote loving you for you? Or are they just loving or in love with how you make them feel, which really has nothing to do with you? Maybe not, right? So does a person's feeling, so then now we're back to the question of the title. Can money buy love? So what you're saying is, if a person may not be, the person's love for you may not have nothing to do with you, but how you make them feel. And I know that sounds like, what are you talking about, Podge? That's what happened. We're gonna get into it. Give me a second. It's building up. I got everybody's not on the same level, so give it a minute to ride. So does a person's feelings change depending on access to money? Or so can money buy love? Because what are you gonna say you like about that person? The way they what? Make you laugh? Okay. Well, I don't need the person got money. I just need, he make me laugh. She make me laugh, blah, 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 blah. We have fun. We have good time. Well, what if they money not right and they never around because now they got to go out and work 4 jobs to, make the money. So they're not there to make you laugh, this, that, and the other. So you watching Comic View and whatever now to supplement. Are you feeling the same way in the absence of their whatever? See, because now that person might have just been their desire in a relationship. They're funny to make me laugh. Is their addiction? So once you take the what's feeding their addiction away, how does the person feel at that time? Okay, it's not just limited to money, but money's always a factor when you trace things back to the origin of shit, right? So how do they feel? How do they feel when you argue? When you have an argument, are both of y'all arguing? I don't, first of all, respect to the people that don't argue. Like when you can sit down and just say, look, this is that. Okay, that makes sense. I didn't think about that. Oh yeah, well, you see, I'm talking about this part too over here. Okay, yeah, cool. Now you've elevated each other. You've made each other better. You've brought each other to a different grade. Hold on. What we've done? A whole nother level. A whole nother level. Okay? You haven't torn each other down. You didn't argue. If your conversations have a purpose and you can sit down and talk about something and you're building, that's one thing. Okay, but now let's talk, and maybe that's partly because you have the right people that both are desiring ascension. So they're addicted to, okay, hey, look. The reality is, right? I'm never wrong. There's just different levels of right. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you got the people like, that's going to stop explaining themselves because they realize if they realize they're not going to understand based on your perspective. But in reality, you can understand when you're wrong, right? So anyway, what I'm getting at is this. Some people are only into the argument, into that debate, into that conversation for the sport. It's sport to them. So you might have winning. They might be wanting to win the argument. They might be addicted to that, right? They might be addicted to try and make you apologize or say that you're wrong. It could be any amount of reasons why they going through all this song and dance, and you're like, but I know I'm right in what I'm saying. Why we gotta keep going around in circles? And then you know how different people argue differently. So anyway, look, you get what I'm saying, right? They may only be in that position. Y'all might only be in that conversation because of the sport of it. Like somebody, and in reality, that might be the whole basis of your relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like you go a couple of days, you have a good time, and then all of a sudden it's got to be an argument. And you're sitting there wondering, why is it always got to be an argument? It's always got to be an argument because something about that relationship, whether it's you or them or someone in your head telling you how to view the relationship, or someone in their head telling them how to view the relationship, something about that shit has created a situation where the addiction is there has to be an argument. Somebody has to look like a victim all the time so they can go and complain to somebody about something, because they're addicted to the feeling of someone going, oh, that's so, So they got to find more reasons to become victimized in what may be a really good relationship so that they can fulfill their addiction cravings and get oh, yeah, that's crazy, man. I don't understand. You know what I mean? Well, male and female, right? Whatever it is. Remember, I'm a man of equations, not variables. So when you hear me speaking about a couple things, know that I'm speaking about it, giving you an example that represents the whole infinity. So it could be arguments about whatever. It could be just somebody can't admit when they're wrong. All this determines, how they're gonna feel, let's say, based off that conversation. So now we're getting into how you make them feel, right? So they might just want you to never ask them another question again. So they're gonna make this argument go to the moon, and so that you'll never ask a question again. A lot of us have used these strategies and techniques in the past at some points in our life before you get to the point where your morals have caught up and you say, you know what, this is so beneath me and I just need to just keep it 100 because the truth can't be won or lost. I mean, that's when people can sit down and say, hey, you know what, I learned something cool. That's what we're here for. We're here to keep learning, keep building. So let's keep doing this. All right, awesome. But that may not be the case. But what I'm saying is we've all had opportunities to practice some of these lesser ways of doing things. So, let's not shame people that are on a different level. Let's just let them know that there's a better way, there's a better level to be on. So we're going to help the community help each other. All right. But this is why some couples, can argue, fight all day long, every day, and they be together forever. You know what I mean? They calling the cops on each other, and 10 years later, they still over there having a great time, partying, calling the cops on each other, whatever it might be for them. And you're feeling like you don't understand it, and then you go try that shit in your relationship, and y'all shit over. You know what I mean? Because that person ain't playing that game. They're not addicted to that fantasy. That they don't have the same addictions. They don't have the same desires. You see what I'm saying? So let's get back to the book here real quick. So level 500, right, is characterized by the development of a love that is unconditional, unchanging, and permanent. It does not fluctuate because its source within the person who loves is not dependent on external conditions. I always tell us I want to see us be internal. That's what I'm talking about. Don't let external influences change you. You know what I'm saying? So loving is a state of being. It is a way of relating to the world that is forgiving, nurturing, and supportive. Love is not intellectual and does not proceed from the mind. Love emanates from the heart. It has the capacity to lift others and accomplish great feats because of its purity of motive. See, when that's when y'all get into those terms like, oh, you was with their representative. You know what I mean? They put on, how many of y'all dudes, ladies, kings, queens, gods, goddesses, whatever you see yourself as, right? Be love, don't try to love, okay? Be love, don't try to love, right? But that saying about you make the representatives and then 6 months later, you're with this totally different person. how many? I mean, it. I remember a few years ago, like actually it was a while back, but it was you kind of had these thoughts, but then it's funny that you get the one person that's real enough to tell you. It's like, yeah, I just wanted you to like me so much that I just did what I thought you would like. And it's a gift and a curse because it's not. Is that really you? No, and you can only keep up these facades for so long before you get tired and you become who you really are, and then you never give the person that you're putting up the facade to or for an opportunity to let you know that they care about you, so that then when you change up, now you create a conflict because they're recognizing a difference, and now they don't know what to believe. That's a trust issue. You just created a trust issue because you didn't even trust yourself enough to be yourself. So you had an agenda, whether that was like these gold digger videos or whether that was just because you wanted to get access to certain things in life or whatever it was. You had this facade, which is a hidden agenda, and you couldn't maintain. It was unsustainable. And then as soon as you got mad, it was like, fuck it, I'm doing all this work putting up all this facade. The mask comes off because you're angry, and then how you really feel comes out. And people, if they stop and recognize that how you really feel is underneath, you know what I mean? And then a lot of relationships might be different. So, well, here we go. As this level of development, the capacity to discern essence becomes predominant. The core of an issue becomes the center of focus. As reason is bypassed, there arises the capacity for instantaneous recognition of the totality of a problem and a major expansion of context, especially regarding time and process. See, a lot of people don't want to talk about stuff. Y'all having these arguments because they don't want to reveal stuff. What was the reason? Go back and check out the other video we just did on reason. All right, so people trying to expose you because they're fraud or they're afraid of being exposed. They don't realize that you don't kept it 100 with everybody. Everybody already know who you are, so they put on all this work trying to expose you, and because of their addiction, you see, they may have been 27 relationships into people that's been not keeping it real with them and for others. So they're trying to satisfy their addiction in your relationship when in reality there's nothing there feeding the addiction, so they gotta create something to maintain that sensation. You see what I'm saying? It's all, now whether they realize that or not is a different story. But so reason deals only with particulars, whereas love deals with wholes. The ability often ascribed to intuition is the capacity, right, for instantaneous understanding without resorting to sequential symbol processing. This apparently abstract phenomenon is, in fact, quite concrete. It is accompanied by a measurable release of endorphins in the brain. See, I was just telling you that everything's based off an addiction in reality. So your desire is based off an addiction. People that's focused on love just want to keep it 100 and keep it moving, push, right? So love takes no positions and thus is global, rising above the separation of positionality. It is then possible to be one with another, as there are no longer any barriers. Love is therefore inclusive and expands the sense of self progressively. Love focuses on the goodness of life in all its expressions and arguments that which is positive. It dissolves negativity and recontextualizing it rather than by attacking it. That's why negative people, they be gone. They can't stay around you. It's like that meme that said if me burning sage keeps you away, then it's working. It's working. See what I'm saying? Negative people can't stay around love. They gotta find a reason to badmouth you so they can be some sort of victim, so that they can fulfill their addiction for them being the victim, right? You see what I'm saying? So they gotta find something wrong so they can tell everybody why they not in the greatest situation they probably in some cases in their life, right? But this is the level of true happiness. But although the world is fascinated with the subject of love and all the variable religions calibrate over 500, because love is actually at the calibration level of 500. So they're saying that all the religions calibrate over 500. You got to at least be in love with something. So it is interesting to note that only 4% of the world's population ever reaches this level of evolution of consciousness. Only 0.4% ever reaches the level of unconditional love at 540, which is joy. Okay. That's why those that know me know I always say enjoy. They be offended by some people be offended by that. They be like, you said enjoy. I thought it was enjoy. Like, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna keep it real and be frank. And I want you to know this. Enjoy. So, it's kind of interesting though. When you know these things, right? When you have this discipline, okay. When you are actually on a whole nother level, you may be by yourself. You may be by yourself because you may be a Virgo. You may be in hermit mode. You may be on your Virgo. Shout out Virgo. Nah, but for real, you may feel like people may not want you may feel like people may not want you to feel like people may want you to feel like there's something wrong with you because you're not doing this or you're not doing that. Because basically what they want you to do, it's a manipulation tactic because they want you to satisfy their addiction. You see? And if you're not arguing with them and there's somebody that loves to argue and they get that, they or you shut down every argument like, oh, that's how you feel? Well, this is what we do. Boom. And now they don't have a 2-hour argument that leads to 5 days of, oh, I'm leaving and I'm, whatever, and slander and back and forth and text messages and stuff. They don't know what to do. You're not fulfilling their craving. So it must be something wrong with you, right? So if, like I said, if the question is, can money buy love? So what we got to accept is that love is a different grade. And if love is simply a different grade, what you guys are actually confusing love with what some people are actually confusing love with in some cases is acceptance. So with that being said, love absolutely, money can buy love because you're buying a different grade of acceptance. You're buying a different grade of desire. You can buy a different grade of whatever you want to put in there. So because once you understand what love is, you'll lose the stigmatism or the negativity of can money buy love? Absolutely. Absolutely it does. Because we're dealing with addictions and desires. You know what I'm saying? And I was watching this Daphne what's her name? Daphnique Springs video, right? Okay. Hold on 1 second. Get this up here for you. And what she was talking about in the video is kind of funny. She was like, yeah, and she's a comedian, so it's really she's really funny too when you check her out, right? So what she was saying in the video was about, oh, you know, my husband lost his job or whatever, blah blah blah, and it's okay, you know, we're gonna work through this, blah blah blah, and you know, we're gonna make it work and everything, right? So and I thought it was very fitting to put it in this video. And let's take a couple moments. You know, I like to support other people doing big things, so I'm gonna plug her in this video and let you see some of her comedy sketch. And because when the husband had a job, you know, it was, oh, we love, you know what I'm saying? And then watch, this is how it goes down once he loses the job and everything at that point. Hold on a second here.
Hey, baby.
What's up, boo? How you doing?
Good. What's wrong?
And I got fired today.
From your job?
Yeah, man. Somebody making budget cutbacks, they gonna lay me off. Like I'm one of the first to go. Like, come on, y'all. I done this company.
Okay, you work hard, baby. You go in there, you get your time in, you work hard, you regulate, you represent for that company, and they gonna let you go?
Yeah, me. Man, oh, I'm so mad. They gonna get security to escort me to the door. Like, man.
Yeah, baby, you wanna still up in the company, right?
No, I'm talking about this protocol that security must walk you out. And then, you know what, really?
Ever since they started shooting the post offices up, it is protocol, that's right.
Yeah, then they gonna take my parking space.
Not the parking space though, right?
Perfect attendance to get a parking space.
We should go key whoever car in that parking space now.
Yeah, I was gonna blow it up, but I ain't had no money for the bomb.
Yeah, you can find Daphnique Springs on the YouTube channel. Go ahead.
You ain't gotta worry about nothing.
I don't.
Just know I'm gonna pay all the bills and I'm gonna hold you down until you get another job. Cause I know you're not gonna be unemployed for long.
Baby, you would do that?
Yes, baby.
Yeah, like you're amazing, boy. I was over your words. I'm like, you know, I'm worried about my household, you know, my wife, and baby, you're amazing.
Baby, I'm gonna hold us down.
Thank you. Ooh.
So don't stress. Go ahead in the room. Take you a little shower, and let's have a I just got fired sex.
I'm gonna put in some work today. Okay. I'm gonna work something.
Okay.
All right, now watch this.
Five, four,
Wait, what's wrong?
3,
Why you counting?
2,
Why you counting?
1. Turn off my water.
Baby, what you doing? Why? I can't wash my hands.
No, you can't wash your hands, not for longer than 5 seconds. If you want to wash it for longer than 5 seconds, get a job. Washing your hands is for people who got a job.
Baby, that don't make no sense. My hands are still soapy. Look at this. I gotta rinse my hands off.
Who fault is that? You sitting up there just lathering, not even using the water for longer than 5 seconds.
Baby, I gotta get up under there. Like, you know, like, come on now.
Okay, you can get up under there when you get a job.
Okay, all right. You know what? I can't wait till I get on my feet. Oh, can I at least use a napkin?
Yeah, you can use a napkin.
Thank you. Whew.
A piece of a napkin. Here, figure it out. Just like I'm figuring out how to pay all these bills without your help.
Now, see, look, I kind of feel like, as funny as that is, it wouldn't be nothing wrong with it if that's how it was when you both had the jobs. And it was like, yo, we need to ration everything, save all the money we can, like cut the water off 5 seconds. You always know somebody be like, shut my door, you're letting the heat out, you're letting the air out, all that stuff. So if that's how it was prior to, that's one thing. But to change up and start talking smack shit about the person, you know what I mean? That goes back to what was said earlier about when they're frustrated, they'll find out how they really feel about you. You know what I mean? So because honestly, that's some nice appliances in the kitchen there. Kitchen look nice. Probably playing a little grip. You know, if it was really that serious, would the relationship really be the same if you had to move to a less lavish domicile, right? You know, would the relationship still be as strong? But I'm gonna play a little bit more of this for you guys. Let's get you some laughs and support Daphnique, and we're gonna keep it moving, okay?
I swear, as soon as I get on my feet, I can't wait till the income tax check come. I can't wait.
Answering the doors for people who got jobs.
You ain't gotta push me down. You crazy?
Hey, Uber Eats.
Oh, I'm sorry, you have the wrong door.
You sure? I got an order here for cheeseburger, extra cheese before Donovan Jordan.
Yeah, that's me, man. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that, man.
Ordering food is for people who have jobs.
But yeah, I'm hungry.
Facts,
Why you
but
doing this?
is
You
it?
can take that back to wherever you
Yes,
got it
no.
from,
Put your
sir,
comments
'cause
in.
Food is for people who have jobs.
Well, baby,
Put
it's
your
already
comments in
paid
the
for.
comments
Yeah,
below.
come on now.
Already paid for.
Yeah.
I don't care.
All I need is a tip.
Oh, hell no. You can just take that back, sir. And you gonna say extra cheese? Extra cheese is for people who have jobs.
Baby, it's all, somebody need to eat it.
You don't have a job?
Man, I'm working on it, bro.
You right. I'm gonna take this back.
Thank you.
I can still smell it.
So look, right? So I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I mean, I just want to put out there that you see how things were different. You know what I mean? I was also watching another video that that made me think about this video when I saw it, right? Because what it was there was a man, all right, older gentleman, you know, and he was talking. It was a video of him talking to his family, or something like, you know, some sort of little family gathering or something, and he was speaking to the family in the living room, you know, kind of a little braggadocious about the situation, and you know, it was his family, maybe I think he said he had like 2 or 3 grown daughters, and you know, maybe his mom or his wife's mom, or you know, his family around, right? Was all in the room, or you know, spread between the living room and then the kitchen, the dining room area was here, so they were in that vicinity, right? Within the ability to hear, within ears reach. Okay, so what he was talking about was that he was kind of bragging about how he goes to work every day, and his wife never had to pay a bill, never made a mortgage payment, a car note, never had to pay for a car, never ever nothing, right? And the family cheering out there, yeah, that's what a real man's supposed to be, and blah blah blah. And he said, you know, when he got to the point where he said, as the father, he set standards high for his daughters, so that basically, if his daughter wind up with a dude that didn't do the same thing, she would know and feel like she don't need him. How y'all feel about that? You know what I mean? I mean, that's like some tradition in there, I hear, but how do you really feel about that? Does it really make sense? You know what I mean? To pay a bill, you know, because when I saw that, I'm thinking to myself, well, remember, now you're satisfying these addictions to people, right? Everybody's got their desire. So as we saw in Daphnique's video, the question is, if he lost that job, if he lost his means to support the family, would the relationship have even lasted that long? One. I like to ask myself questions. This sounds like I observe shit, I ask questions, and I learn a lot. You know what I mean? But maybe you will too. But here's what I'm getting. Here's what made me think. Here's what made me ask. Well, okay, that's how you feel, brother. But before you go and condemn future generations or enforce tradition on others, let's think about this a little bit, because it sounds good. Remember, it sounds good. Check out my other video, right? About it's a good story, but is that the reason? You see what I'm saying? Is that the reason? That's why all these stuff is interconnected. Feelings, emotions, it's all interconnected, right? So that's a great story, but is it the reason? You see what I mean? Because if you lost that job, or maybe you lost a job, went right into another one. Maybe you were one of those lucky people that happened to be able to go right into another position. Excuse me, whatever. But if you had lost your job, fell on hard times, like some people do, would the relationship be the same? Would y'all still be together at this time? Would y'all have had 3 daughters? You know, I don't know. For you to even be sitting up there telling them that if they're meet somebody that they care about and that cares about them that can't do this, that they, you know what I mean, that that's a crime. Because the question is, if you couldn't have done it, would your relationship even have been? Your perspective is based on your level. It's your you know what I mean? So, but here's what I'm getting at. What if, right? What if she had said, I got all this free time, I want to start a business, right? One, would you even allow her to start the business too, right? But two, what would you do? How would that affect your relationship? That do, remember, everything's based off desire and addiction. So does that now change the addiction? Is your addiction being satisfied if she was to start working, or start her own business and has the means to pay a bill? Maybe this person just wanted to keep her jobless because that's a measure of control. I mean, all these things are possibilities when you look at the infinity, right? When you look at the infinity of the equation, instead of getting stuck on one variable that sounds good, that may not even be the reason. Like, she might not even have been with him because she ain't had to, because he's him and he think, whatever it values he think he's possessing. It may have just been that she ain't have to do nothing all day but cook a meal, and the rest of the day was just hers to lounge around. So she was addicted to that freedom of doing nothing. Maybe that's all it was. So basically, if he falls off to the point where he can't produce that environment no more, does she get up and say, hey, no worries, babe, I'm gonna take care of, I'm gonna go get a job, I'm gonna pay some bills? I mean, I know you've been doing it for 18 years, 20 years, 25 years straight. I can go out here and do it for a year, 2, 6 months, whatever, until you get back on your feet. Or does she feel frustrated and then say, well, mom, you ain't shit unless you can do this for me, so I'm gonna go. Remember, because he's telling his daughters that they shouldn't be with the dude that can't do this for him. So then what happens is, was she supposed to go get somebody else now? Oh, y'all getting divorced and she ready to go to Costa Rica, get remarried, and take your daughters with her, right? So, or on a less severe level, right? Example, what happens if she, you still got your job, everything's going, you're paying the bills and stuff, you're buying the cars, you're buying the food, all this stuff, you're paying for everything, bro. And her business blows up. She's making 4 times, 5 times what you make now. Okay? You go to work every day. You did it, you carried the family for 25 years. Now she's making 4 times as much as you, got 6 times what you got in your pension, your 401k in a year. Now, remember what you was protesting your morals as. Now, she ain't supposed to have to pay no bills. How you gonna feel about that now? You wanted to pay a car note for you, buy you a car here and there. What, she supposed to do something? You want to work less hours? Is it something gonna be different? You see what I'm saying? So, because is that gonna mess with your addiction of being like, hey man, I pay for everything. My wife don't know how to do nothing. Now you don't get that same conversation anymore. It's different if you're honest with yourself. So is that satisfying your addiction? For those people in those situations, let me know in the comment below how you would feel if that happened to you. Like, would you be the same? Would it still be the same for you? Your wife starts a business from home. She's still home. She's doing 4 or 5, 6 times the money you making in a year. You still feel like you gonna be paying every bill? She ain't gotta pay nothing. Where All right, so you're satisfying addictions here. That's what this is about. Okay, so let me find my spot in my notes here. I got notes. Make sure I stay on track. So appreciate your patience. So yeah, so she, y'all gonna feel like she ain't gotta pay no bills still. then cool. You're gonna go to work forever. She gonna be Oprah Winfrey, and well, let me know how that works in the comments below. So what does that addiction, right? Remember, if he falls off, she might wind up in Costa Rica with the daughters, with the whole family. If she blows up, he might ruin the relationship because he don't know how to handle a wife, or a partner or whatever that's doing better than him. All this kind of conversations that you see that start arguments, etc., etc., etc. That's really what I'm getting at. Remember what I got over here. What I always told you. I'm giving examples, but it really represents an infinity of issues. So you pick your own example that you're most related to, or that person that you know is going through whatever, and plug and play that into the scenario. Is it going to change? So now his daughters meet. Here's what I think the downside of that is, right? I mean, of course, there's many, but there's many good sides too, but there's many downsides. There's infinity positive, infinity negative. So, and then there's zero, which is love in tennis, because it's the only number that it's a totally different grade of number. Yeah, see, they hide stuff in plain sight. So all you gotta do is look for the signs. But what I think is gonna would be a real concern or opportunity you must consider with that applying or wanting to create that addiction to that tradition in the next generation, is that what happens if his daughters could meet the next, and this could go both ways, sons, daughters, however whatever you want to look at it nowadays, I don't know, but his daughter can meet the next Bill Gates, the next Jay-Z, the next whoever, and miss out on someone that really cares about her and wanting to make sure her whole family does well in the future. All because he's like, yo, I need you to help me till I get to this point. I got some things I'm doing, but she's gonna be like, no, because my father pays for everything, and he bought me, he bought my mom a car, he bought all his daughters a car. We ain't had to do nothing. We women. Whatever you think about that, I don't care. But what I'm saying is, now she could miss out on somebody that really cares about her, would have been really in the position in 5-10 years to take care of her and the whole family, his family, the community, everybody, because of the arrogance that they shouldn't have to do nothing, right? So what happened? So there at the same time with that father and that wife, that was she ain't had to pay nothing. Then the question is, what if she did go to work and make some money, or what if she did start a business and make some money? It didn't look like they were, you can't really tell what people's money is like, but what I'm gonna say is everybody there's always room for improvement, right? So I look at stuff like that as a mismanagement of resources. You know what I'm saying? If you was in that strong enough of a position that your wife could be at home all day long, then why is there not a business started of some sort? Whether it's something that she's doing that you're helping to fund, that you're funding from the investment capital that you're bringing home, or you're starting a business and she's helping you run it while you're at work. Whatever that situation is, you could have been so much further ahead if you had used the resources better. But these addictions need to be satisfied. So whatever's gained and whatever's lost, love is love, right? So since love means a different grade, if you look at each other as equals, you can never love each other. Okay? You can never love each other if you truly view yourself as equals. You can never love each other. That's a verb. Love, as we see here, is a noun. So you may have a love, or you may have many loves. You can have love for. You can be in love with. See, that's person, place, or thing. That's a noun. So you and your wife and your husband can be in love together. You can be in this place together that's different than where everybody else is at. You see what I'm saying? You can be in love together, but if you're equal, you can never love each other. But if you're looking for love as a verb, you're going to find it, and it's going to be a different grade. A whole nother level. So don't be upset. Don't feel like you didn't get what you want. You got exactly what you asked for. But the point is of this, all this is that you got to know what you're asking for. So a lot of people asking for love as a verb, you're getting it, and then you wonder why you're unhappy. Okay. So that was a lot. That was a lot, right? But that's love. That's love, right? It's a whole nother level. So let's see what these cards is talking about. If you're with me right now in the video, I appreciate you staying with me. So, you know what I mean, getting through this. This is grand stuff here. You know, find somebody to share with, subscribe if you have not already, you know. Give the video a like. Or if you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. I don't care. It's all good for me. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it either way. Put some comments in below. What touched you? What moved you? What did you learn from this? What did you find shocking? But you know, and after you drop the comment down, you know, it's an opportunity for you to look it up and see what's look into it further. You know what I'm saying? We building. YNet 7. CashApp. All right, we gotta get some of these cards. We gotta get the cards. Let's see what these cards is talking about, man. I love this new. You're gonna say I love this new deck, right? Yeah, it's a verb, man. You gotta stop using love as a verb. It's a noun. This deck is love. I am love. You know what I mean? That's how you need to be utilizing the phrase. So let's see what we got here. Again, thank you for all your support. Cash App is YNet, the number 7. So Y, letter Y, NET, the number 7. Okay, so we had the Queen of Swords pop out. So I'm just going to leave that out for a moment. I normally only pull one card, but there's something else in here that needs to come out. So since that one jumped out, I feel like there's something else that needs to be said about this, because if you want a personal reading, you know what I mean, just hit me up. Pasha Pyro and any social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Just give me an instant message or inbox or whatever, DM, and let's bust it up. Let's schedule on the calendar. So with this being such a general reading on such a broad topic, as important as this is to as many people, it might just be that two cards need to be coming out today. So let's see what we got here on the other card. So the 3 of Cups. That makes sense. All right, so Queen of Swords, right? Let's talk about it. In a second here. Right? Queen of Swords. So this is the characteristics of determined, strong, categorical, intellectual, and with great life experience. The one, and you know, like I said, for if you're new to this channel, I'm gonna tell you like we always talk about. I'm doing this stuff now. I'm learning, you know, I'm absorbing everything. So that a year or two from now, you know what I mean, I'll have this all memorized. But right now, I'm not one to pretend. I got my resources. I got everything I need. So I'm reading some stuff from my resources and helping me commit it to memory. Meanwhile, I'm sharing this information with you guys. The energy is real, so that part don't change, okay? Okay, moving on. So intellectual and with great life experience. The one who knows human weakness and is cruel to them. human weaknesses and is cruel to them. See, remember the agenda. Remember the agenda. People with addictions are operating based off desires. So they have an agenda. Okay. The decision is made, conclusions are made. In business, it's a sudden uplift, right? Turn into good, thoughts are working correctly, there's growth, money, income, everything is well. Because why? Because money buys love, right? We done proved that because love is a different grade. You know what I mean? So, relationship desire for an inter fight, right? Relationship with a bright completion, or excuse me, relationship with a bright competition, relationship where there's growth, and she is raising oneself a man. Now, see, there's a fight in these relationships, right? We just talked about how the arguments, the addictions, does the relationship outweigh the addiction? That's internal combustion right there. That's the internal combustion engine. You're fighting, it's explosive. That's the question that was going on this whole video that's been asked. Does the relationship, does you matter more than the agenda, than the addiction, than what they're trying to get out of the relationship? You know, advice is get into the fight. Now the question is, are you going to get into the fight so that to accomplish something or defeat the addiction? If you're in a fight where you're feeding an addiction, are you going to fight for yourself and exit the situation? Either way, you're going to have to get into the fight. You see what I'm saying? But do not take excuse me, do not take an irreconcilable position. Okay. Don't be that guy. Now, in his case, in that story I shared, his relationship was going well. You know what I mean? He had 3 grown daughters. You know, it's kind of late. You know, if something goes wrong, who knows? They're probably okay. But don't put yourself in a position you can't recover from because of love as a verb. And you probably won't be in a position you won't be able to recover from if you're disciplined to using the word love as a noun. And the result of the Queen of Swords is that you'll be fully prepared for a fight. You'll act firmly and assured. Okay? So you're going to be ready for what you need to do. All right? So the other card we got is the 3 of Cups. All right? Or they call it chalices on the Nefertiti deck. Check it out. Let me get that angle for you. There you go. Okay. So this card is the Lord. The original name of this card is the Lord of Abundance. You see, the general meaning is entertainment, feast, cakes, and ale. Because of abundance of the heart, direct wish to have fun. Wasn't that what we were just talking about? You see what I'm saying? So the events are joyful party and ordinary party, threesome pleasures. You know, there's an event, there's celebration. What happens if all this comes crashing down? Are they still going to be there for you? Is that feeling still going to be the same? Right? Is it still going to be a party? If you lose that position and you can't buy the car, pay the mortgage, and they got to go out and get a job, is it still going to be that same party? You see what I'm saying? So in business, this is corporational interest, internal agreements, which do not go outside the company. Business agreements, minor monopoly, however, the income is big. See, because why is the income always got to be big in these 2 cards and booming? Because Money buys love. You know what I'm saying? You trying to buy the new Corvette C8, right? And then you gonna call her a gold digger for stopping and wanting to talk to you after she find out you got that car, because she realized at that moment you can satisfy her addictions. But at the same time, you got the car to satisfy some of your addictions. So it's really that simple, people. Like, we're all operating off addictions. And if you had $5 billion in the bank, the way you looking at the gold digger, it wouldn't even matter, because you would just be throwing money out like that anyway. I mean, what if you had $5 billion in the bank, it would be nothing for you to be like, oh, here, let me get you a little $100,000. Eh, maybe not. Maybe you'd be 10,000, maybe 5,000, maybe you would just be more freer with the $100 bills. I don't know. But what I do know is money don't change people. It just allows them to be who they really are. And a lot of times people really want to do good for other people. They really want to help people, you know, but you may not always be in a position to help, because a lot of times it takes money to help, or even if it's free, it takes time, which time is money. It's pulling you away from something you could be making money or something else you could be doing. It all adds up to money. So money buys love. So when you see the big picture, none of that really matters. Right now, it's a party. You know what I mean? What's your budget, basically, right? But know that if you don't have a budget, you can't be mad if the love goes away. If you're trying to use it as a verb, excuse me, if your focus is love as a verb. So a relationship is the big, sincere friendship, cognate relationships, blood relatives. This card, for example, together with something else made denote marriage, but not in this case. Okay, so the health is great, easy state. You know what I'm saying? When money buys love, because when you're surrounded by love, your stress is low. You know what I mean? So your health is high. Low stress equals good health. Easy state. You know, most importantly, you're going easy. The soul of the company, the funny one, very attractive person, easy to talk to, good for everybody, right? Because when you're buying, the way society is set up is when you can afford whatever it is that they are addicted to, you look good. Maybe they're just addicted to the money itself. Maybe they're addicted to what the money buy. You bought the new Rolls Royce. You look good. It don't matter. You bought the new uh I don't even, fashion ain't my thing, you know what I mean? But what's hot? Armani suit still? I don't know, you know? Whatever. You got the new latest Gucci suit, Gucci hat, Gucci belt, whatever. You look good. It don't matter, because you got something they're addicted to. When the drug dealer got the drugs, they look good. You look good, man. That looks good right there. What you need for it? You see what I'm saying? It's all good. It's all good. So the advice is to unite with like-minded, go out and enjoy life. So see, it's amazing. I told you this other card needed to come out, because when we were talking about the levels, you see what I'm saying? This is why someone could be up here. Someone could be used to being down here, join you or join a person up here and be miserable, because what it takes to be up here, they don't like. You know what I'm saying? They don't like. So then they'll leave from up here and they'll go back down here to where they're comfortable. See, that's where the complacency comes. Don't be complacent. Anyway, that's another conversation. But they'll go back down to here where they're comfortable, because it's easier around people that are like-minded. If all you want to do is go to work and sleep all day, and a person that's trying to take over the world is going to put too much stress, too much pressure on you, you ain't going to be able to. You ain't going to be built for that life. You're going to end up out of that relationship quick. But the warning with this is the rain always comes after the sun. Okay? So, like I said, everything's going good as long as the money's flowing if you're using love as a verb. As soon as it's gone, be prepared. As soon as that sunlight gone and those clouds roll in, be prepared for people to take shelter. All right? Energy, effect. Strength increases. Okay? You got to be strong. You got to be strong. If you're going to be able to look at this in reality, what it is that money buys love, it's going to take you to be strong because the whole society is programmed to tell you, no, that's not how it works. Somebody's going to be with you for who you really are. And you know what? That is true when you are with people on the same level of consciousness as you. But if you're only representing 4% of the population, what you got to know is 96 out of 100 people you meet aren't going to be on that level on average. So you're going to have to be strong. All right, let's get this. Let's get to the Oracle card. We're going to pull a crystal, see what that's got to say real quick. And then we're going to keep it moving and get up out of here. Thank you for the support. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like the video. We done dropped some heat with the Three of Cups and the Queen of Swords. We done got that energy off the thing. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, hold on. See, I'll be telling you to post these books for y'all. Y'all better be picking these books up. So the three are your best in intellectual, artistic, or creative endeavors. You need to express, to manifest, and see results in your work. You know what I'm saying? So three's the right number for that. You know what I mean? Because whatever you're focused on, you're attracting. If you're using love as a verb, you're gonna get a different grade, and you're not gonna understand why it's not what you planned for. And so let's express correctly to manifest exactly. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's see what these crystals is talking about here on YNet 7. I'm Pasha Pyro. This is the latest deck I got. I'm really excited about it too. Personal readings, hit me up. CashApp is YNet 7. Letter Y, NET, number 7. And let's see what we got here on the crystal card. Okay, we got red tiger's eye. All right. Give me a second. Let me see what this is talking about. Because this is supposed to be what you need here. So red tiger's eye, right? And fortune arrives. The message with this is that fortune arrives in our lives, and it's not simply by chance, but from our optimistic and positive attitude. We are smiling and courageous, and we attract people and situations in harmony with our energies. We are never aggressive, but our personality is nevertheless strong because of our particular charisma. Like attracts like. Whatever you focus on, you will attract. Okay? So the powers of red tiger's eyes attracts to itself the benevolence of others and stimulates optimism and positive thoughts. It is indicated for those who have lost their appetite and are weak from an illness. So if that person got you all mentally twisted and you all focused and stuck on the wrong thing in life, you know what I'm saying? Then they talking crap about you, got you all feeling some type of way. You're accepting that, okay? You're allowing that to be your life. You know what I'm saying? You are not wrong in your opinion on how it should be. There are other people out there who have the same view on life as you do. So you need to get with your people. You know what I mean? Don't fight their fire with fire. So stop explaining yourself when you realize that people only understand from their level of perception. Okay, you're gonna have to be strong. All right, you're gonna have to move on. You're gonna have to find what you're looking for in life, and know that if you're in a position where you're buying love, be honest with yourself that you are buying love. Know that you're buying love, because if not, you're setting yourself up for a very devastating disappointment as soon as your circumstances change. Because I guarantee you that what you think that love is not unconditional as you believe it will be, at least not forever. Okay, nothing lasts forever, not even this life. All right, we'll be back again. I'm Pasha Paro. This is YNet 7. Thank you for tuning the replay.